Okay, let me put some more stank on that. Guys, it's time for We Got Your Vote. What happened to my show opener? It's not okay. There's no graphic, but let's get into it here. What was the next one for We Got Your Vote? We did a couple of them during the main show, but you didn't hear them, so I have to start over with those. Real quick, we talked about what did we say? We talked about
hit those again, right? So
no, well, let's see. So the first one that was brought up, I'll read them out because I don't know if the WWE goes through with more official intergender matches, who would you like to see take the lead from the women's roster in these types of challenges? 49% said Ronda Rousey. 24% said the man Becky Lynch. 14% said Rhea Ripley. I love her. And 8% said Shayna Baszler. And only 5% gave Nia Jax, The Rock's cousin. 5% only gave her that vote. Wow, that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We were talking earlier about that was one of the main topics of the main show. I'll circle back and I'll pick that up for you guys later, but that's where you guys landed on you want to see Ronda Rousey for the most part just beating up on dudes, and I am for that because I want her to come back. And she did. When she first came to the WWE, one of the first people she beat up was Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. It was very believable, and I loved it. And I'm sure he's still.
Yeah, I think she is one of the women where
yeah, she's one of the baddest people on the planet.
A lot of guys and go. It feels like
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'd give her my.
I don't feel bad for her. I'm not going.
Yeah, look. If I've dented her car, I'm handing the insurance right over. I'm not arguing. Just put it like that. All right. What was I think the second one that we had on there was what was it? It was. I'm sorry, I'm messing it up again. From the main show, it was like, what are some working titles for a possible film based on the GameStop stock situation? From the list of options that I gave, only 55% shined light on A Nightmare on Wall Street. Then you guys suggested some better ones, like The Longest Day of the Short War, The Day the Stock Market Stood Still. It should be called the Short War. And then one person said the Nerds of Wall Street. I think that was your favorite one, right?
I like that one. Yeah, feels apropos.
The Nerds of Wall Street. Reddit versus Robin Hood. Okay, so what was the next question that we had up on We Got Your Vote?
We asked on Twitter, could the reason in WandaVision, could the reason that we only see Hydra referenced in commercials prove they're sponsoring in some way, shape, or form? 100% said yes. So, boom. There we go. I think that makes sense. The other theory I've heard that makes sense is if you're really leaning further into the this is all Wanda creating this, which is as we've discussed before, the theory I subscribe to.
Yeah,
Wanda's trauma in different ways popping up in those commercial breaks.
And it does explain the Hydra reference because that's who created her. That's who gave her her powers. Was Hydra, Hell Hydra. But don't give any props to Hydra. How do you know? Maybe I would be a Hydra agent. You never know. I could be undercover. I just feel like there's a reason why they only are referenced in commercials. Commercials are your sponsors. So maybe they're the ones who have her, trapped in something and are forcing her to do. Everybody wants her to be the villain.
I know we both got our theories. I think they both make sense. So that's...
Either way, I won't be mad either way. What was? I'm sorry. I'm trying to go back and to make sure the stream is going. I'll have to confirm it later. What was what's the next one?
We asked on TikTok in other WandaVision discussion, is there something going on between Darcy and Agent Woo on WandaVision? 62% said yes, 38% says no. I say no, but there will be. At least a little flirt action, I hope. They're cute. I like them. Are you with me, Chris?
I'm here.
Are you just daydreaming
It was
about
my
that?
question. It was my question, but now I'm wondering, does a love connection between them even work?
I don't know. You know what? I will say this. I don't want them in like an actual relationship by the end of the show. I just think them having like a fun sort of chemistry works really well and is fun to watch. I don't think I want them like married and together, but I like them having that sort of.
I mean, unless the raw connection is just undeniable, and
I just feel like there's too much else to worry about in the show. Like maybe if it worked out in like some other piece of Marvel universe content down the line, but there's just too much to.
right.
Get through
The other thing that was suggested that I was thinking about was just what if they just got their own show, like an X-Files, like Mulder and Scully type of thing.
Someone was pitching that, like an Agent Woo, like fun X-Files kind of thing, and I think I'd watch that. I think both those actors are a lot of fun, so I would be on board. They're fun to watch.
I think their comedy style is completely opposite, but it works. Everything with them on screen was working. I love it. I love it. Even if you're, because I've heard people who don't like her character from Thor. I think even people who don't like her character would still kind of loved how she responded to him, and probably vice versa. Because I can see
I like
people
her more in this than I did in Thor. So.
I mean, I found him a little annoying in Ant-Man, but seeing him here, it totally worked for me. All right, what's the next one?
And our final, or one of our final WandaVision questions. We asked, do you believe Kathryn Hahn is a villain? So we're discussing she's a villain or the person in witness protection. 60% said villain, 40% said witness. Yeah. I don't know if I think that's what they're setting up, but I would kind of like it just because that actress is so fun to watch. I think it would be a fun use of her as an actress.
Well, maybe not like the witness, like that witness protected person that Hahn was looking for, because somebody later on told me in the community that didn't Hahn describe a man that he was looking for that was in witness protection? And I look back and I'm like, yeah, you're right, he did say a man, so it couldn't be her. So that just brings it back to, if that eliminates one answer, then I'm now leaning. Okay, so maybe she's not the main villain, but maybe the main villain is using her. Maybe that's why she hasn't been. Yeah,
I feel like she's too good an actress to not give her something a little meatier to do by the end of the show.
Like she better be in season 2, is what you're saying?
Honestly, I hope she just gets a great arc in season 1.
Yeah. Exactly. I like her character. I just love her as an actress. What was the next one?
The TV world was shocked this week by the death of Dustin Diamond, best known as Screech on the 90s sitcom Saved by the Bell. Now, it was known that Dustin burned a lot of bridges with his former castmates. If you followed the story or have recently caught up to it, what mostly stands out to you? 44% said it seems like he was trying to mend fences before his diagnosis. 32% said none of his castmates referred to him as a friend, and 24% said the network will try to rewrite history and honor him.
Joy brought something up that I didn't know. I didn't know much about it until it all happened so fast and all of a sudden. But Joy's a nurse, and she brought up, if you look at the time when he first announced or first discovered that he was sick to when he got his first treatment or therapy for the cancer to when he died, like that, everything happened so quickly. That means that he was it turned out he was so far along. He didn't know it. He was already at the last stage before he even received his first treatment for it. So when he tried to start making amends a couple of years ago, like he was on like the show with Mario Lopez and things like that, that means he didn't know he had cancer when he tried to mend those fences and fix those bridges that he burned. I'm not saying, like, there was some people in the chat that was kind of cruel, but some people kind of acknowledged, like, yeah, okay, I know he's passed, and I don't want to talk ill of the dead, but before he died, he did burn those bridges, and he was acting like a jackass and this and that and the other. And that's probably why his old mates aren't gonna reference him or honor him all that much, or the show's not gonna. And that's probably true. but I think it's still. I'm going to give him a little bit more credit to the fact that he tried before he knew he was that he had cancer. So I give him some points. I mean, because anybody can be like, "Oh, I'm sick now. I better try to before I go, or if I go."
No, I really don't think, and it is part of, however you felt about the guy. It is part of why it is just a sad story, because he really didn't even get a chance to reconcile and do what he wanted to do with his last period of time, knowing that it was
the end,
coming up on the end of his life.
And I mean, looking back, and I'm a guy who watched Saved by the Bell back in the day, in his heyday, and most people today are probably learning about Saved by the Bell because of Zach Morris's trash on YouTube. But if you know anything about that cast, Screech grew up in a house with from what I remember, with a very strict father, who was, I guess, kind of looked at him as I don't know much about it, but from what I understood, he was a disappointment, I guess, because he wasn't like the typical jock son. I guess that his dad wanted, but he knew he was I think he was a black belt in martial arts, and when he got the role of Screech. Even when he
Diamond or Screech you're talking about,
when he got the role of I said when Dustin got the role of Screech, he was typecast, and that was like his biggest role, and it was hard for him to get work. Everybody else was moving on, getting other types of gigs, and people still looked at him as and Screech. So right. I mean, he had a rough coming up. So him acting the way he did, I think that probably had something to do with, probably the way he was, he brought up. It seemed like towards the end that he was trying to exercise those demons and fight against that. Mm. And I honestly, I don't know him at all, but from what I could tell, just from the outside looking in, I think he was successful at least letting go of whatever anger he was holding on to. You could see in earlier interviews and other things that he was doing that he was holding on to some stuff, and then in later, more recent interviews that you saw him in, it was like something was like lifted off his shoulders. You could see it. That's just my perception of it. At least at the end, I feel like maybe in the end, hopefully those demons were gone. So hopefully, that's just how I see it. Anything anything? I mean, besides.
I never really watched Saved by the Bell. I loosely knew sort of some of his controversies, just kind of being a teen when some of that was going down, and I guess just one of those, like you said, never want to speak ill of the dead. Don't know the man. Obviously, just like
I did find it extremely interesting I did find it extremely interesting that the tweets and the Instagram messages from his old showmates were very, that's why I put that in there. None of his castmates referred to him as a friend. And it's probably because he burnt those bridges. But it was almost, and I'm sorry to be a conspiracy theorist, but it was almost as if they conferred, they went to someone like a publicist or whatever, and they all kind of were told what to say. Just
I don't know. I imagine that's more just you want to speak accurately and honestly without speaking ill of someone. I that's more what that would just read as to me.
Perfect way to put it. They were very accurate in their statements. Like it was all pretty much. I knew the guy. We worked together. He lived. He just recently passed away. I feel sorry for his family. It was kind of dry for some.
But you know what? I would also appreciate because again, you can't speak ill of somebody by any means, but I have more respect for that than, like we mentioned, kind of the trying to rewrite the facts. If you weren't close with the man, that's okay. Just because someone passed away, you can't make up a relationship that wasn't there. So I think just to say I worked with him, I'm very sorry, that's too young to go. Like those are the things to say in that moment. You know, you can't.
You're right.
It would read it so much more false if they were out there writing stuff that they knew was not how they felt, or an accurate representation of how things went down in their life.
Because you can't be in that situation where you didn't say anything. Because nowadays people are even dinging people for not saying anything at all. So you have to say something. But so I guess you're right. That just makes sense. Just stick to the facts. All right, that's the show, guys. Sorry again, guys, for the trouble that I had with the live stream. I'll circle back, and I can't do it tonight. I can't even do the rest of the trending stuff either, because even I after that big hit of realizing that we were talking for over an hour and nobody could hear us, I am drained. So I'm gonna do a little bit of editing. Maybe episode 169 will be picked up again next week. It sucks because there were a lot of people I sent links to this today, and that was their first impression. So we'll see how that. We're gonna do some damage control in the marketing department. So. All right,
thanks for bearing with us, guys. We appreciate it. Sorry for the tech issues.
Thank you.
We will obviously get that all double checked and resorted for next week. So thank you guys for being here and bearing with us.
I blew it. Like I said, let me look, guys. I humble myself before you, and I beg your forgiveness. There's no excuse for this. 168 episodes in, and I go over and talk for an hour, and you can't hear me. There's no excuse for that. You blame me for this. If you want to tell all your friends to punish me by having 10 of their friends subscribe to our channel, I will let you go ahead and do that. Get 20 or 50 of your friends to subscribe to. That's the only way I'm going to learn my lesson.
Make sure you send that hate mail by subscribing, and then sending us some. You can send us hate mail through our Patreon.
Yeah, the only way I'm going to learn my lesson, if you click on that symbol that looks like this, it punches me in the face. So the more of those, I will get the message. The only way I'm going to learn, man. But that's the show, guys. I appreciate it. I guess we'll call the show. Talk to the Medias was streamed in front of a live studio audience that was yelling at the damn screen because they couldn't hear me. Sorry about that, guys. And till next time, you can find me if you want to yell at me some more. You can on Instagram, on Twitter at ChrisFagan1980. Amy, if they want to suggest some more things to review, what can they find you? Right there.
I'm here. I can do some things. Amy.n.Newman, Amy__Newman.
With style and grace. There you go. And if you like Amy Newman, you're going to love this, guys.
If you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and please drop a like on this video. It really does help us. Also, don't forget you can turn on notifications so you don't miss a single review, react, why is that trending, or we got your mail.